Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, where we hang out a little bit longer. We love to hear from you, too, so you can email us. You can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, message us. You can do the voice memo thing and email that to msj@msjshow.com, or use the talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app, because we absolutely love to hear from you. And, you know, last week with Helene plowing through from Florida all the way up through the Carolinas. Has it been a week already now? I'm losing track of time.
More than a week.
It was a week and a half, basically, right? Yeah. And, you know, there's been a ton of video coming from all areas, but especially up in the Carolinas, the mountains, and where I'm going with this specifically, Chimney Rock. And over the weekend, when Jodi and I were at home, just kind of bouncing around watching game day and everything else, there was a YouTube video suggestion that popped up on my phone. And I immediately wanted to watch it. He's now got 3 million views. It's a guy by the name of Mark Honeycutt. And so his
You heard about this, Sam?
No.
And this one's gone viral. So there are a lot of the major news websites have already. I think that's part of the reason the views keep going up and up and up. But he walked to Chimney Rock because that's the only way you can get there. Pretty much is hiking. And because he was in search of answers. Apparently last week, in the midst of all of the insanity and tragic stuff that we saw on screens, something was going viral where people were alleging in Chimney Rock there was looting and that there was violence and that there was,
there were bodies
and all that kind of stuff. It was just, crazy conspiracy theory rumors.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to, it's his home. He wanted to go put it to rest because he loves Chimney Rock. So he set out on a couple of mile track where he walked all the way up to Chimney Rock to the downtown area, and he documented all of it on video the entire way. From the moment that he couldn't drive anymore, where the roads had been washed away, I don't remember whatever the main road is that leads up through into Chimney Rock. And it's just crazy. The landslides and everything around that. What was once a little river valley is now swallowed up all the roads. And so he's having to hike literally through the woods to get to, certain places along the way. And there are pieces of the road still there. He's got some video of a police car, but he gets to the center of Chimney Rock in the downtown area, and construction workers are busy trying to clean things up. And it was very friendly conversation, but I don't know, just kind of going with him on the track to see the devastation, but for him doing that walk so that people who live in that area could actually see, so these rumors, they're not true. Here's what's actually going on, and here's what things look like right now.
Yeah, it's still hard to see. Like, it would mean the world to the people who evacuated or have not been back, who that was their home, or if that area meant a lot to a lot of people, and it is never going to be the same.
Right.
It'll have to be rebuilt. But it was also interesting to me, we didn't even talk about this, how hit or miss it seemed. Yes, it's mostly wiped out, but then there were things that remained standing, like a sign. And it was like, oh, so the mud slide took this house, but not the sign.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it was just so strange and crazy, but it was good to see it. But if that area means something to you, if you've ever traveled there or you lived there for any amount of time, because we heard from some of you last week, go find it and watch it, because the certain landmarks will mean something to you, even though it's broken.
Right.
Yeah. And we can post this link to it on murphysamandjodi.com if you're interested, in watching it. It's been, shared a bazillion times, and I'm sure there will be more as more people could get up there. But I don't know, to me, the simplicity, and it's beautiful video, by the way. By the time he was doing the hike, it's that crazy paradoxical contrast of a beautiful day with all this, blue skies.
Damage.
Right.
Yes.
And but it gives you context on the combination of where the flooding damage was just the flooding damage, but the mudslides, that's what really, that's where the infrastructure was really damaged most, with houses and those kinds of things.
I had trouble even discerning parts of it. I'm like, wait, what was this? And Murphy's like, well, that's obviously, it was more obvious to you that this was a road. I'm like, okay, that I can't tell. that it was a road.
Well, he had explained that, so
I missed that part.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't a genius with it. But he was talking about how he didn't have the before and after photos, but he was like, "Yeah, this is this road went right through here. This was so easily accessible by car just a week and a half ago, and now it's not accessible at all."
Was his reason for doing this to go find out for himself, or to show people that no, there is no looting and stuff going on, or
both.
just for the residents to say, here's what
it was
looks
both,
like.
but he set out to kill the rumor.
Okay,
that's what he wanted. He wanted to go out there. He said he was going to answer questions. He just kind of got tired of seeing all that, and there are parts of it. Yeah. So there's a construction worker there that gives them time. He says, "No, everything is." He says the only smell that was around here were the propane tanks that they had to remove from the river, but that's because propane smells.
Yeah.
But people are banding together and just trying to put things back together. Everything is, from that standpoint, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then he came across a lady. She and her husband had just gone back to see what shape their home was in and to start the cleanup process. And as all that was going on, they had evacuated across the street to the post office nearby as the water was coming in. And when they went back to the house to get some more of their belongings, a mudslide occurred right then and took out half the post office. Their pets were okay. They had left their pets there.
Yeah. The craziness of the hit or miss of that area.
Yeah.
Most areas were just hit.
Yeah.
There was some hit or miss. Now, we know that a lot of it has been completely washed away, but not all of it. It was so strange to see.
Yeah. As someone that doesn't, live there, and obviously unless you are in that, it's difficult to know the experience. The only way that I can really relate to that is, we experienced floods. Jodi's mom flooded. Actually, most of Jodi's family flooded in the flood of 2016, that occurred.
Lost everything.
7 feet of water in a house, and there is nothing that really kind of explains that when you go back in for the first time and open the door, and that much sludge has gone through a house, and everything has been rearranged.
It's like someone picked up the house and shook it. Like the refrigerator had floated, you could tell. Like everything was, and it's the smell you can never
you can't forget that smell. And, of course, all of it has to go. It's nothing, you're starting literally from scratch if you even have a structure to work with. But I just found his video, I couldn't stop watching it. It's not long. It's maybe 20 minutes long.
It's worth taking a look at.
It is just he's walking along. He's taking you with him, and it's pretty casual, and it's not overly slickly produced. It's beautiful video, but it's not the sensationalized newsy. It's just a guy who's walking and shooting video of a place that he loves. And as I read about it, you're talking about a city that was founded, a Chimney Rock area, over 125, 130 years ago, something like that, maybe even longer ago than that.
It's a sad, sad thing, but the beauty of him documenting it, because they are doing work every day. He talked to one of the guys who was on one of those, what do you call those things? I don't know what you call those things.
Bulldozer?
I guess it's a bulldozer. There's a different name for it. But
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it. It looks like the tiny bulldozer, but it's not. That's not what they call them. Oh.
I know you want to guess what it's called.
I don't remember the name of it either.
They're working on it, so it would look, if he did that same walkthrough today, it would look different. So, it's great for them to document. It's great for him to document it in a non-newsy way.
Yes.
And that's that's another reason to be grateful for technology, for somebody to be able to just hike up there and do that.
Yeah.
As opposed to years and years and years ago, you would have just had to tell the tale. You won't believe what it looked like.
Yeah.
That story would have actually grown differently and changed because it would have been hearsay.
Yeah. And I think what I liked about the video part of it is it really puts it in the best context that it possibly can be for two-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's more so than a still photo can communicate. And you'll see that when you watch that. I think it was a risky proposition for him to be. It was pretty dangerous for him to be walking across some of the rocks and the shrapnel and the twisted metal power lines that he was literally having to get around.
I mean, honestly, he's really lucky, I guess, that someone didn't stop him. An authority didn't stop him.
He said the police in Chimney Rock, once he got to the downtown area, he says, "Look, the police just pushed me back. I can't go, here."
Yeah.
But he was just honest about that.
But they were nice, though, too.
Of course they were.
That.
I mean, but that's for his own safety.
Yes. There were some of the steps he was taking where he knew to put the camera down on his steps, and it made me very nervous.
Yeah.
But he seemed to stay upright just fine.
And he found little areas where the landslide was so significant that what used to be somebody's steps that led to their front porch, that went, if you were walking down away from that house, you would step down to the roadway. But when he walked to the edge of it, you're looking down at a 60-foot drop because
like something from a cartoon.
All of the mud and the landslide, that land is gone. It's just, it's wild to just see that sort of power of a wall of water.
A mudslide is not something I'm familiar with at all.
Does he have just one video, or did he make a series of them?
I'm going to subscribe to him and see. This one is just, it was the only one that I had time to watch. And there are a ton of those videos up there now. I mean, there's, now that people are able to get in. But, I think his probably just went viral because he said he was walking to Chimney Rock for answers. That's the name of the video.
Yeah.
He wanted to dispel the rumors, the conspiracy theories of what was going on while people couldn't be around their homes that they just lost.
Yeah.
And he wanted to eliminate that unnecessary terror or whatever,
Yeah.
And so I don't know. To me, I'm really glad I spent the time to watch it. I'm really glad that he took the time to offer something up, not only for the people of Chimney Rock, but
for everybody
the rest
watching
of us to be able
this.
to see. Yeah, exactly.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.